What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun?
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day. Good morning and welcome back to Kindness Rising. This week, we're putting kindness into motion. Literally, it's Kindness in Action Week. And today we're talking about what happens when money moves with meaning. Because real generosity isn't about how much you give. It's about how intentionally you give. Stick around. We've got laughs, lessons, and maybe even a little Monopoly money. All right, turn the volume down so we can hear each other. Welcome to Kindness Rising. It's Monday morning. We're getting up and after it with the crew. Lady Drew is here. Bee Driven Bernard is here with his bees, and Mike Sullivan. Thank you guys for coming out bright and early on a Monday morning. And we've got Hanuman. He is over in the vertical stream. We appreciate you. PTM Dauber Boy too. Welcome to you. We are getting up. You are part of the team that's getting up and after it with kindness, with joy, with positivity, rising above the noise to have a great week. The week is Kindness in Action. And that isn't just about being nice. It's about doing something that creates change. And when it comes to money, that means rethinking how we give, how we spend and invest. Most people think of generosity as a transaction, a donation, a tip, a gift. But real kindness happens when money carries your values forward. That's the difference between spending and investing in good. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I appreciate you. Hanuman, welcome. I am in upstate New York, Binghamton, New York. Welcome to Kindness Rising. And if you haven't been with us before, you may not have met Cal and Stan, but you are about to. Let's see what Cal and Stan are up to this week during our Kindness in Action.
I decided to start tipping better.
That's great, man.
Yeah, 50%.
Wow, on the bill?
No, emotionally. I just tell people they're doing great.
So you're still using Monopoly money then?
All right. Stan is out there with his heart in the right place. I appreciate that he gives positivity, but we're talking about tipping. We're talking about giving with our wallets a little bit and what that means for the world. I'm not here to ask you to give anything. I am here to encourage you to give what you can. And it doesn't have to be money, but we are talking about money today because today is Money Monday. Money Monday. We talk about work and money on Mondays here at Kindness Rising. All right, let's zoom out for a second. Kindness isn't just a personal habit. It's actually a social force. Giving in all of its forms is what turns a community into a community. In 2024, Americans gave nearly $600 billion to charity, one of the highest totals ever recorded. But the real story isn't just in the numbers, it's in what giving does to us. When we give, whether it's a dollar, a skill, or a little bit of our time, something shifts in your brain. Studies show that generosity activates the same reward centers as joy and love. It lowers stress, it increases empathy, and even lengthens your lifespan. That's not just poetic, that's neuroscience. But it doesn't stop with the giver. Communities build around shared generosity too. And those that do, they see higher trust, lower isolation, and stronger social ties. When people show up for each other, not because they have to, but because they want to, it rewires the whole environment. All right, let's jump back into the comments for a second. See what people are up to. All right. Ridley Sage, welcome in. Hi from Milan. Obi-Wan Baggio coming to us from Milan, Italy. I appreciate that. I've been to Italy, but not to Milan. Ridley Sage, furry? I got a little hair on my back and chin, but no, I'm not a furry. I don't act as a furry. I'm just kidding. Whatever floats your boat, Ridley Sage, I am just glad that you are here with us on Kindness Rising, getting up and after it with a little positivity, a little bit of hope, humor, and humanity. And we've got our OGs, Lady Drew, with us. Good morning all over the place. Morning and blessed be. Absolutely. I appreciate you. Be Driven's only looking for some help keeping my property. Nothing near that amount. I appreciate that. Absolutely. We all want to act locally. Appreciate that. Anybody who can support Bernard, Be Driven Equipment. He's got his honey packs. So get out there and order your fresh honey from Bernard. Mike Sullivan, happy weekend to you too, buddy. I had a bit of a crazy weekend, actually. We can talk about that maybe in a little bit, but this was a weekend where things could go wrong, and they kind of would. I had a major issue at my house. I guess I'll tell you, we have a sliding glass door for our shower, and after much work, I figured out how to replace the rollers that weren't working. The company wasn't that great, obviously, in terms of customer service. I thought I'd take a stab at it. Well, when I went to take a stab at it, our entire 6-foot tempered glass door shattered on top of my head, all over the shower. Nicks and cuts, luckily nothing too dramatic, but it was one of the scarier moments of my life, having an entire shower door panel like literally shatter above my head. So that was a little bit of a rough go, but I was still grateful to be here. Still figured out how to be grateful for what I have. I have a shower that I can shower in, and I am grateful for that. Simple things. It's the simple things. All right. Here we go. A little bit more we're going to get into on our Money Monday. The beauty of giving is you don't have to be wealthy to be generous. You just have to be willing, because every act of giving, every meal dropped off to somebody, every dollar donated, every moment spent listening to someone, that's a free a moment of kindness. That strengthens the fabric that holds us together. So when you give what you can, you're not just helping someone else, you're helping to create the kind of world you'd actually want to live in. That is your kindness spark for today. Evolution is a mystery. Welcome in. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm glad you're here. Again, glad you're here. All right. And on Kindness Rising, we always spotlight organizations that help with the subject that we're talking about, nonprofit organizations. I'm going to try something a little bit different today. Hey, how about that? Look at that. All right. So this is Operation Hope, and Operation Hope was founded by John Hope Bryant, and they empower financial literacy and entrepreneurship in underserved communities. They don't just teach budgeting, they build dignity. Their clients repair their credit, launch businesses, and graduate into financial stability. Many return as mentors, proving that hope itself can compound like interest. That is Operation Hope, and they are out there helping with generosity and supporting people. I'm maneuvering around, trying something new. I love trying new things. That's not what I want. Let's try this. Yeah, well, you win some, you lose some. Okay, let's get back to it. All right. So I want to talk about another organization. I was going to share their website too, but apparently I am not ready for that. But I want to tell you about a cool organization that I learned about over the weekend. It's called John's Crazy Socks. John's Crazy Socks is a father and son business with a mission of spreading happiness through socks. John Cronin, who has Down syndrome, co-founded the company and built a model where giving is baked into every sale. They donate 5% of their profits to charities like Special Olympics, and they employ dozens of individuals with disabilities. What started as a small online store became a movement of inclusion and joy. Proof you don't need a corporate budget to create a culture of kindness. So check out John's Crazy Socks. I was looking at their website. I'm going to try to show it to you, but guess what? Things happen. But check out John's Crazy Socks, and I hope you guys have a great day thinking about organizations and giving. All right. I think Cal and Stan are ready for us again. Let's see where they're at. They were in the diner. Now where have they moved to?
Cal, I've created a charity.
That's big news. What's the mission?
It's called the Stan Fund, helping Stan help himself.
So donations go to you?
Exactly. You can't help others until you've helped the brand.
Oh boy. Oh wow. Okay. Apparently Reggie is everywhere. I didn't know they let cats into bars, but Stan, I think, has the wrong idea about what it means to set up a fund. We do not fund ourselves. That's illegal to set up a nonprofit like that. Anyway, just kidding. I'm not kidding, but I'm also just laughing at Stan trying to set up the Stan Fund. Of course, it has to remind you of the Seinfeld episode where George just makes up a charity and gives people cards saying he's made a donation in their name to a fake charity. Love Seinfeld, one of my favorites of all times. So many things that just happen in life that you're like, oh, Seinfeld, Seinfeld, Seinfeld. At least that's for me. That's the way it is for me. Anyway, welcome back to Kindness Rising. I'm Matthew Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and I am so glad you have chosen to join us here this morning, 7:30 a.m., Monday through Friday. I show up with kindness takeaways, with stories, with Cal and Stan, with little bits of positivity to get us started in our day. And as always, I try to give you all a little bit of a takeaway, something that you can bring with you into the world. Today, this week is Kindness in Action Week. So, of course, we're going to put our kindness into financial action this week. 3 tips to establish a ripple of bug just flew right into my glasses. What a morning. Okay, 3 rules to establish a ripple of kindness in your life. The first, give intentionally. Align your giving with what truly matters to you. What is your values? Search for what you care about and give to that. The second, act locally. Of course, local is the best. I always focus my efforts on giving locally. Look for the needs right around you. Kindness starts on your street. I enjoy giving to organizations that matter to me in my community. I just scheduled myself for a fundraiser. It's going to be kind of cool this coming Saturday. I'm doing a cemetery tour on behalf of the Roberson Museum, or with the Roberson Museum. We're going to tour one of Binghamton's cemeteries and find out some more history about the community. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited to make a donation and get some value out of that donation through Roberson Museum. So we'll look forward to that. Maybe I'll share some of my stories that I learn about Binghamton and our history here. Acting locally, really important step. And our third step is to build it as a habit. Make generosity part of your routine, not a reaction. Something, of course, we all react when something goes down, something happens. We are there to lift people up and help them. But if we make it part of our regular routine, our giving to whatever matters to us, it doesn't matter. There are plenty of needs out there in the world. We all have value to offer. If we can give a little bit of our dollars, that is amazing. But the size doesn't matter. It's the consistency that does, because kindness compounds. All right. What's going on over here in the comments? I see my mother has joined us. Roseanne Roof, good morning, mother. Oops, I bumped it. Yeah, that's another classic Matt Roof story. We'll have to put that one into the queue someday. I'll tell you about Oops, I bumped it. It's definitely a funny story. We'll save it though. Okay. Lady Drew, thank you so much. Video call each other is the next best thing to visiting in person. I agree. Technology is absolutely amazing that we can connect all over the world. Literally, I've got people coming in from all over the world for the show, and we've got people coming in from all over the world as friends. Ways to connect are amazing. Mike Sullivan, yes. Small but mighty ones. Those small donations, they add up over time, and then it just becomes second nature. I love that. Anything we can do, actually, anything we can do to automate stuff, including our donations, is amazing. Monthly bills, things like that. I love automated. I love direct deposit, all that stuff. It just makes our lives so much easier. Remember going to the bank and writing checks and writing a check for cash and all those things we used to have to do. Absolutely crazy. Some charitable donations can be used as a tax write-off. Absolutely, there are tax advantages. I am not a tax attorney. I'm not here with advice for that, but there sure enough is benefits to financial giving. Make sure you check it out. All right. Moving on to our branding segment. Here's an interesting one. Money reflects your brand as much as your words do. When you spend, you give, or you invest with purpose, you broadcast your values without saying a word. You don't have to say anything. Probably the charitable organization is going to recognize you too if you're willing to let them do that. It's a good way, but we don't do it just because of it. We do it because it's the right thing to do, and we're giving to things that matter to us. The most magnetic brands, whether it's your personal brand or a corporation or a small business or whatever the case may be, the most magnetic brands act with generosity. They treat kindness as a currency and lead with intentions. There are tons of organizations that lead into social impact as a key part of their message. And you persevere and you figure out how to do these things. Boom. All right. There it is. on the vertical at least. Something. It's something. How about that? I did it. See that? Just keep practicing. You'll figure it out eventually, these things. Anyway, here we are. We're talking about magnetic brands that have social impact, and this is a cool little place called Take a Dozen Cousins. Dozen Cousins is a brand that is leaning into social impact as part of their brand. They are pretty cool. They're a small Caribbean Creole food company that sells seasoned beans and rice. Each year, they donate a portion of their profits to nonprofits addressing disparities in Black and Latino communities. Oh, something's happening. There they are. There they are. All right, that's Dozen Cousins. Check them out. They are giving back to their community. They're not a mega brand, but they are mission on your shelf. Their founder says we don't just share food, we share access and equity. That's branding in action. Values that feed back into the community. Absolutely. So check out Dozen Cousins if you like rice and beans. I haven't bought their product yet, but I probably will, just as a chance to do some giving back. And they just seem pretty cool to me. So I wanted to share about them. That is an example of how money trickles downwards from businesses. I've always said, I've said on this show before, I think that business is perhaps our greatest power for good if we choose to make it be so. Keep that money flowing, keep activity happening in the world, and keep giving back. Keep giving back. That's what we do. And businesses are prime candidates to do that. All right. So I got that piece out of the way. My little soapbox about business. I believe that all businesses are designed to help communities, and that's the way it works. They're integrated. They're part of the community, living, breathing members of the community, and we support them locally, and we give back, and they give back too, and that's how the cycle and the ripple just continues. There's also a myth out there that philanthropy, it's a fancy word, generosity belongs to the rich and only the rich should be giving, and that they're the biggest givers. That's a myth, right? That the biggest givers are the rich. And we don't have to get into the economics, but when you dig into the numbers, you do find something surprising. Both the Chronicle of Philanthropy and the Philanthropy Roundtable industry experts show that middle and lower income Americans actually give a larger share of their income to charity than the wealthy do. I think people have thought it before, but there is proof. People making around $50,000 to $75,000 a year often give 6 to 8% of what they earn, while those at the very top give 4% or less. Sure, the wealthy might give a little more in total dollars, but proportionally, it's the folks with less who often give more of themselves, because generosity isn't about excess, it's about empathy. When you know what struggle feels like, you recognize it in others. And when you've been helped, you're more likely to pass it forward. That's the hidden beauty of giving. Kindness doesn't wait for a windfall. It shows up in the grocery line, in church baskets, in community fundraisers, in people quietly supporting their neighbors, even ones they barely know. And here's the bigger truth. The heart of generosity in America beats strongest in the middle. It's the everyday givers, the one juggling bills, families, and work, who keep compassion alive in this country. So if you've ever thought, I don't have enough to make a difference, remember this: the data disagrees. Kindness isn't measured in dollars, it's measured in proportion, in intention, and in what we choose to do with what we have. That's your kindness spark for today. Okay. Oh, did I forget to mention that I'm part of the Mornings in the Lab network? I mention that every time. Mornings in the Lab network, where we are helping you get up and get after it every morning, Monday through Friday, 7:30, Kindness Rising, and then we get on over to the big show at 8 o'clock. That's Keith, John, and friends, Mornings in the Lab, and they are over there getting ready for their big show. We can always make a connection between what we're doing here and what we're doing there. Keith's big topic today, from lazy to limitless, the one switch. When it comes to generosity, a lot of people stay in the lazy zone. They think, I don't have enough to make a difference. But the switch, the one that flips you from lazy to limitless, that starts with a question. What intangible resource can I offer right now? Kindness isn't limited to money. It's time, presence, encouragement, expertise, assets you can share infinitely. Once you flip that switch, limitation erodes. You move from occasional giver to active participant in good, and that's where limitless really begins.
Calder, I realized giving doesn't have to be big. I paid for the guy's coffee behind me this morning.
That's actually great, man.
Yeah. Reggie even purred at me when I told him.
Oh man, Reggie's got a case of the tips. He's tipping everything over, batting stuff around, always adding a little level of chaos to our guys' Cal and Stan's day. You never know where Reggie might appear next or what they'll be up to next. But I think Stan learned his lesson that kindness doesn't have to be a big thing. Little things. He bought somebody's coffee. That was a little bit of money, but he didn't have to do that. He's out there in his community spreading kindness in our community, and I hope that you are too. So that's it. Lady Drew, always kind, always sending out kindness and generosity. Mike Sullivan, yes, starting your mornings healthy and in the right direction, watching both shows. And my mom says I've said it all. No, Mom, I haven't nearly said it all, because I'll be back tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. to say some more. Tomorrow is Tuesday. It's our Lifestyle Tuesday. We always talk about something in the arts world or in a general lifestyle topic. I wish I could tell you what it's going to be, but that's what I do when I'm done here. I go start thinking about tomorrow. I actually already have it planned. I just don't remember exactly what it is, because I plan about a month in advance. It helps me. All right. I am going to catch you on the flip side, Bernard. I will see you over at Mornings in the Lab. Kindness in action means putting your values in motion. Every generous act, big or small, becomes a note in the larger rhythm of good. Kindness is more than a feeling. It's a force. So take that force, go out there, spread kindness, be generous, and as always, stay uncommon and stay kind.